And when you talk about, let's go to electric, so it will be even better. First thing, it is about 3 or 4 times more expensive. So we have the money we have, it will be enough to buy fewer buses. So we'll have older buses running. Actually, it will be worse, not better. And the second thing is we have 29 thermoelectrics working in Ceará, our state, to give us energy. So that energy will come from diesel, carbon, and gas. So if it's all carbon emission the same way, it actually makes no sense.
Welcome to Transit Unplugged. I'm Paul Comfort. Good to be with you on another edition of the world's leading transit executive podcast, Transit Unplugged. In depth this week with Dimas Barreira, who is president of Sindionibus in Fortaleza, Brazil. Thank you, my friend, for being on the show.
Thank you, Paul. It's a pleasure to be here again.
Yes.
And talk a little about our service, the transportation in Brazil and in Fortaleza area.
Very good. So we are right now in Brazil. We are in Brasilia, the capital, for a big conference called the NTU Conference. I've been meeting with a lot of the public transportation bus company owners and officials here. We just had a breakfast this morning where I spoke to them about what's happening in public transit around the world. So I'm excited to learn from you, Dimas, what's happening down here in Brazil and in Latin America.
Good. This is a conference that we have every year. Almost all parts of Brazil, they have people representing them here. Some mostly from the bus companies that in Brazil they are private owners, and also from government regulators. They also come. And we do that every year so we can talk about and listen to what's happening in every part and share our experiences so it gets better everywhere.
Tell us about your personal life, Simon. You used to be like a motorcycle guy, right?
Yes.
Or motorbikes?
Yes, motorcycles are part of my life. I started to work, I like to say it's such a big part of my life that I started to work when I was 15 because I wanted to buy a motorcycle, and I kept working because I wanted to buy a better motorcycle. So it's kind of one of the first motivations that put me to work.
Yeah.
And I always loved to ride motorcycles. I had an accident a while ago. It was pretty dangerous one. People were worried about me, and I got out for 4 days. It was actually kind of quick, but at the beginning, when they talked to the doctors, they couldn't say how long I would be sleeping if I would.
You were in a coma.
Up. Yes, I was in a coma. And it was coma. I don't know how to explain that technically, but coma, there are kind of like degrees of coma.
Okay.
And I was in the worst degree. I had no response at all.
Wow.
So what made it so hard for people to know if I was going to wake up or if I was going to have defects.
Right, permanent damage.
Yeah, permanent damage.
Yeah.
Because of that. And
it was pretty miraculous, right, that you came out and now you're fine.
I fell down from a bridge.
Right.
I don't know why, because I have no memory.
Okay.
Maybe I passed out or something. I was very slow. I stopped before the bridge and waited for a car to come by. Only one car would pass by that bridge. It was
a real small bridge.
Yeah, small bridge. And then when I started to go, I know that because the person that saved me, she saw and she didn't understand that. When I started to run real slow, I was stopped by the bridge, and then I started to go. Something happened. I don't know if I passed out or something. And the motorcycle fell to the right, and I fell to the left down the river.
Off the bridge into the river.
How
far of a fall was that?
And it's kind of like 8 meters. And I hit a rock.
Oh, man.
The river was very shallow, but I hit a rock there, which break my tooth and stuff. So I was with my face down to the water. Actually, it was very shallow, but I was with my face down to the water and stayed there for like 5 minutes. Yeah,
Your face was in the water.
Yes, I was going to drown in something like 30 centimeters of water.
Oh, my gosh.
And she started to scream. And bike riders that were a little far, they listened to that and they came to help. So after about 5 minutes, they took me out of the water, but I was.
Did you like die?
Yes.
I thought so.
My heart stopped 3 times.
Yeah.
One of the times I stayed 40 minutes
Your heart stopped for 40 minutes?
40 minutes. But they did not stop to...
Oh, they were doing
the
compressions.
message.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
compressions. And also blowing into my mouth.
Yeah, CPR.
Yes. But for 40 minutes... It's,
Wow, Demas.
I don't know.
I mean, that's a miracle that you lived.
Then it came a helicopter, and they had a artificial breather there in the helicopter.
Okay.
And they put me into that, and put me in the helicopter, and they took me to the hospital and stuff. So when I got to the hospital, the doctor said, "Okay, we're going to keep him here in the breathing machine here, but we don't know if he's going to wake up."
Right.
The coma is in the last degree, and my lungs were 80% full of water. And so my wife took me back to Fortaleza to stay in the hospital because she said, I don't know how long he's going to stay like that, and I have to take care of him there.
Right.
And 4 days after, actually the third day in the night, they scanned my head and said, something happened here, and the edema, you know that word? Full of blood and water, is gone. Something happened here. And then a few hours later, I woke up.
Do you have any idea what happened? How you...
No.
Wow.
I just got better real quick.
That's amazing.
I woke up and I have no damage at all.
Right.
I have a scar.
A little scar in your, I can't even see it, so yeah. How long ago was that? When did that happen?
It was November 2020.
Wow.
2 years, almost 2 years.
Well, I'm glad you made it through, brother. So tell me about public transportation here in Brazil, just in general, because it is operated very differently than in America. As you know, in America and in Canada and in places in Europe, the government either runs public transportation or puts out tenders and contracts with private companies such as yourself to run some of that. But it's very different here in Brazil, isn't it?
Yes. We cannot confuse one thing. It's not a market. It's always public service. The operators, which is almost 100%, it must be certainly above 95%, they are private companies, but they are only operating as the public runners, the mayor, or sometimes the governor, because sometimes it is metropolitan regions, so that's up to the state. And when it is in the city, it's up to the city hall. So it is determined by them. So the operator will have to run the service as they tell them to do.
As the government regulates it.
Yes, regulates it. So it is public service always. The operators won't decide how much they want to charge, who pays and who doesn't, how many buses, how many kilometers. They will have to operate as it is determined. So it's not a market. That's good. It's good to point. And mostly in Brazil, it is private owners, private companies. But we had experiences. Now it's very hard to find. There are very few. But most of the experiences we had were not that good. The service did not get very good.
Is this when the government ran?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
When there are public companies, not only the service was not that reliable, a lot of the planning did not happen as, the service did not happen as planned or something like that. And also it got very expensive because they have, the government has a hard time to run the company with the right amount of people to do it and stuff like that. So it kind of got disappearing, the public companies, and most of it is privately
held, yeah. So tell us about your city, Fortaleza, and how it works there.
Fortaleza is a big city. It's the fourth biggest city in Brazil. We're talking about almost, I think, 2,700,000 people just in the city, plus the metropolitan region, let's say 500,000 more.
Okay.
And we have two different systems. We have one system inside the city of Fortaleza, bus system. It is nowadays 10 companies in this system. And we also have the metropolitan region. It's a different system run by the state with 6 private companies. So we have in total 16 companies and around 1,700 buses running in these two systems.
Between all those companies?
Yes, between all these 16 companies.
And all those companies form a bus union, right?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
We have a bus union. It is called Sindionibus. I've been leading this union with the colleagues and a team of technicians and expertise, people that have the expertise for, I think, 13 years now. And that's how we develop things in the city. It's not up to any company. We decide it all together. We do it one pattern, and it works. We call it integrated. I think it makes sense in English too.
Yeah,
it works integrated with it all. So we have policies like let's show you two different policies that works in these systems. We call bilhete único. It's a unique ticket in the city that you have 2 hours to go to as many buses as you want.
Okay.
And not pay a second ticket. And if you come from the system that it is the metropolitan region to the system that runs in the city, which is happens a lot, most of the people do that, you also have a smaller price in the second trip that the government will pay for. So it's something to stimulate people to do that, to use public transportation, and it gets cheaper in this way.
So in the city, you could buy this ticket and you could ride any of the companies.
Yes.
Okay.
Any of the companies.
And Impressa One, is that the company that helps do this?
Yes, we have a lot of things implemented with Impressa One. You can pay your tickets with the card or with your phone with QR code. We're also on the verge of implementing NFC payments with your cell phone, your mobile. And also we will have the card, the virtual card in the phone. So all the features that you have, and we have different types of cards. You can be a student, you have different features for that. You can have a bilhete único that I just told you. You can have you have different features for that. And your card can be virtually in your phone. That's what we're just about to implement this year. It's the implementation of the year. But we also have DRT, which is demand responsive transit. I think that's what it stands for.
Yes,
it is a app like we do. We have available in all the world for individual transportation. You use the app, but in our case, it is a bus. The bus will come, it will pick you up. There's no time established. There's no route established. The app will make it for you, but when you decide, when you pick a ride with the bus to a certain destination, any other person that can use that ride, the app will find them and they will join you.
It's a shared ride.
It's a shared ride.
Okay.
Yes.
And is this something new you all are doing?
We started that in December 19. We didn't know China was starting something different there, a virus. So it kind of like got us right on the beginning. We launched it.
Right before the pandemic?
Yes, right before.
Oh, yeah.
December the 5th, we launched it, and the first lockdown was March.
That's right.
20.
Yeah.
So it hit us hard at that time, and something that was kind of like something to try out, and it was a pilot. I don't know if
yes,
that
that's what we use. Yeah,
pilot, and so we were held 3 years.
Yes,
not knowing
and how is it working
to test
now?
The market. It is working good. We expanded. It started with 18 buses. Now we have 36.
Are they smaller buses or are they?
Yes, they're smaller buses. They're sprinters. You can ride 13 passengers in these buses.
Yeah.
All seated. Nobody stands. We plan to get to 50 buses soon.
How is that being paid for? That's
one thing that's particular in Brazil. That's nice to talk about. In this system is Top Bus Plus. We say Top Bus Mais in Brazil. And it is all paid by the user, only the passengers. It's not an established price. It depends on the ride and the time, but there's no dynamic pricing.
Oh,
no dynamic
not
pricing.
like Uber where it could go up if there's more demand.
Not like Uber.
Okay.
Actually, what we say is that it is the modern transit, like where everybody likes in the world to use. It's something made for you when you need. There's no lane established, but we respect all the public laws, the local laws, like our bus drivers. They are contracted, they're hired by a company. They have their rights. The bus is owned by a company. If something happens, if an accident happened or something, you have a company that will take care of it, that will take responsibility for it. And there's no dynamic pricing, so it respects the people. you know by the time you plan to get back or by the time you plan to ride, what you're going to pay for your ride.
And is it breaking even? I mean, is it working? Are you all making enough money to make it work?
We just got to a certain point. It's not breaking even yet.
Okay.
What we just got 2 months ago is we stopped paying to transport people.
Okay.
What was happening is people paid like 10 reals and it was costing like 12, 13. Not now anymore. What we didn't get yet to do is to pay for the investments. We don't.
Oh, the vehicles.
It's not profitable yet because
Okay.
the vehicle is there and is getting lower in price and
Right.
stuff. But we're not paying to ride anymore.
Okay, so it's covering the operating costs.
Yes,
It's not
operating
covering
costs.
the capital costs.
Perfect.
Yeah. That's good. Interesting. Wow, that's awesome. That sounds like it's powerful software behind that, running that. On your public bus side, I want to jump back to that. That's basically this union of bus companies in Fortaleza. Is it breaking even, or do you have some government subsidy?
That's one thing that when we started to talk about the DRT, but who pays for it?
Right.
I wanted to talk about. We had a very hard time throughout the pandemic time. I think
Yes,
most of the world
right.
experienced that. And in Brazil, it is most common to see the systems of buses supported only by the ones who pay. Not everybody pays. We have public policies like the elder people won't pay, the older people won't pay.
Only the riders
Students
pay.
maybe don't pay.
Right.
They ride, but not pay.
Okay.
We have publics that won't pay for ride. They will ride for free. And the ones who pay, we also have policies like I just told you. You can take as many buses as you want throughout 2 hours. So the people who are really paying for the rider every time, they're less people, what makes it expensive for them. So if we don't do something here, these people that were supporting the operation, which were the people that ride not too far and pay the bus ticket, they will go to individual transportation because it gets too expensive.
Right.
So it started making no sense for the person. So what started to happen in Brazil is that we started to have public help with the budget. So the city halls and states, they started to help to support transportation. I know
During
in
the
US,
pandemic, yes.
It's actually after the pandemic.
They're still doing it?
Yeah, they're still doing it. And we also have systems like we have in a small city in the metropolitan region of Fortaleza. Inside that city, it's for free now.
Wow.
The mayor got there in July of 21, I guess. July of 21, and said, in September, we start to run for free. It's called, it's something that I can't translate.
Yeah.
It's called Bora de Graça. It's kind of like, it's a joke. Let's go for free.
Okay.
Something like hitchhike for free or hitchhike or something like that. Yeah. So all the buses are for free, and the demand multiplied by 4.
I betcha.
It is. It just happened. Then another city close to that one copied this mirror, but made it a little different. Not everybody is for free, but most of the people is for free. Also multiplied by 4.
Wow.
Already. And the business in town, in downtown, they're celebrating it because the movement got so much better. They're activating economics.
That's good.
It's happening very well.
One other question about the union of bus companies. How do you all decide who gets which routes? Like, say you want to have a new route. Do you all bid on it, or how does that work?
That's also interesting. We have a central planning and a central controlling of operation. So let's put it like this. Inside the city of Fortaleza, we have 10 bus companies. And what is the duty of that bus company? Is to have a bus that's ready with maintenance, fill up with fuel, have a trained driver, and deliver it to the central control of everything. So when the bus leaves the garage, the company, it's delivered to the central controller. So we have a central planning. They will tell the company what lanes they will ride, what routes they will ride, and they will tell the bus driver what to do. So if something changes, like it happens every day, let's say traffic light is out of order, so it messes up the transit there, and it has to change something. Our team that's central for all the 10 companies will go there and take some measure to correct that. So it's all centered.
So the central control, is that run by the government or by your companies?
No, by the company's union.
Oh,
Yes.
wow, that's interesting. And so if there was a new route, they would assign it to one of the companies, or do you all like bid on it? Let's say you decide there's a new area where there's a lot of people and you need to send a bus route there. Who gets to decide who gets to run that?
First thing is our central planning will talk to the city hall. They have regulation people there, technicians, and they will establish the route.
Okay.
Once that's done, it's up to the bus union to decide what company will do that route.
That's good. And are your buses all diesel?
Yes.
Good.
They're all diesel. We don't have any different thing yet,
Electric or anything,
something. Yeah.
Is that's so? At my breakfast this morning with some of the people here in Brazil, they told me that there's electric buses are a lot more expensive than diesel buses,
Yes.
and they need more buses. They can't really afford electric buses. What is the thought generally here with your company, with your union, on zero emission buses? That's a big thing, in America.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get into that. But usually what I say, people don't like a lot to hear.
Okay.
But let's do it. First thing is, we have to understand that we have a pattern of diesel buses. Right now, it's Euro 6.
Okay.
The emissions are very low.
Oh, you have like they call that clean diesel.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
When you talk about, I don't know what that is in English, but particular
particulate matter.
Matter. Mm-hmm. It's down 98%. That's a local problem. It will make the air bad to breathe locally. So that's practically solved. In Fortaleza, is nearby the ocean city. We have a lot of wind, never had that problem. But let's start with that. It's 98% down. The carbonic gas?
Carbon? Yeah.
It is down by 90% in Euro 6. And when you talk about, let's go to electric, so it will be even better. First thing, it is about 3 or 4 times more expensive. So we have the money we have, it will be enough to buy fewer buses. So we'll have older buses running. Actually, it will be worse, not better. And the second thing is, we have 29 thermoelectrics working in Ceará, our state, to give us energy. So that energy will come from diesel, carbon, and gas. So it is all carbon emission the same way. It actually makes no sense. And the problem is, we still hurting from the pandemic side. Our fleet used to be 3.5 years of age, average. Nowadays is 8 years of age. So
you didn't have enough money during the pandemic to buy buses.
Yes.
Right.
We practically stopped buying them. And so if we go to the electric buses, what is the problem? It's not only the investment that is too high. If you take a lifetime of a bus, and I just did that math about a month ago. One of the providers came to me with an offer. And if I take, what I put there was investment, energy, diesel or electric energy, and maintenance. And I put it there for the whole life, and it got 52% more expensive. So if we're not being able to pay for what we have, it is not really the time to get something that much more expensive. And also that's what I just told you about the environment. It's not really good if you don't have the money to buy all of them or a lot of them. It just doesn't make sense. If your fleet will get older, you will actually have more emissions running because you're not accessing the new technology.
Let's talk about some of the other challenges and victories that you're having here in Latin America and in Brazil. So in America, a real challenge is after the pandemic, a lot of people retired or left the agency, and so we're having trouble getting trained mechanics, bus mechanics, and drivers. Is that an issue here in Brazil?
Yes, it's been like this for mostly all the time.
Okay.
Well, the company's always talked about that. It's hard to get people to work with us in the different areas we need. But there are certain periods that it got a little more difficult. I think We always had that problem.
Yeah.
We had something like we train people inside the company. We got a person that's a mechanic, that's like a starter, an apprentice, and he stays with us for like 20 years, and then he gets to be a really complete mechanic inside the company. The same happens with the drivers. We have other functions in the company. When they want to be a driver, we train them, and also help them with license and stuff. So
that's good.
That's an issue that we have to deal with.
Yes.
Always.
What do you see as the future? Where are you headed overall here in Brazil? Are there any new changes coming? Like, you know, in America, they're talking about autonomous vehicles, vehicles without drivers, vertical takeoff and landing vehicles, which are kind of like helicopters. They're talking about all kinds of futuristic stuff. What's happening here in Brazil?
Well, I think what's in front of our eyes that we can really see, because I see a lot of that with things like we're imagining it, and it can happen,
yes,
but it's not really showing up yet. What I think it's coming is this fusion of regular system of public transit and the DRT.
The demand response.
Yes, the demand response. We're just seeing right now to hire a mass app. I don't know if that...
Mobility as a service.
Yes, mobility as a service. And what we're going to do is to make it easier for people to use both of them integrated, so they can have the best ride to suit the person's need.
Yeah. So you think that's happening in America too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mobility as a service. It's close to that's what you see as the future. Yes.
But it's starting to happen. We have a bike share system in Fortaleza, and I also think that will improve integrating with our mass app.
Do you see
to put
put them into it? That's right. Yeah, that's good. We do that in the U.S. as well. Do you see the government getting more involved with funding transportation here in Brazil, so they would have more money coming in?
Yes.
I understand that your Congress, we're here in the capital city of Brasilia, and actually last night I got to drive by where the Congress meets and where the president works, and right near here is where the president lives. It's kind of cool. The city was planned for the capital, but they were telling me Congress is debating putting more money into public transportation. Is that right? Yes,
we have a huge debate in Brazil right now about that. And one of the most common proposals about that is that all three stages of government help with that: federal funding, states funding, and city hall funding. Why is that? Let's put one thing, for instance. Throughout the whole Brazil, if you have public transit, everyone that's older than 65 will run for free. That's a federal law. And they have that law, but they don't have who pays for it. So everybody rides for free, but if the city doesn't have the money to help with transit, actually who's paying for that person that rides for free is the one that pays for the ticket. That's what we talked about in the beginning. So it makes it too expensive for them. And a lot of examples like that. So currently, if you're over 65 in Brazil, you can ride for free. Ride for free. But there's not government funding for it, so the fare for other people has to go up to cover the cost. Is that what you're saying? Yes. Okay, I got you. Yes. Yeah. We have almost 3,000 cities in Brazil with public transit. Wow. Not all of them are here. Yeah, real big, right, yeah. Real big, but we have I think we just got that last year. I think it is around 600 organized public transit cities. So the impact is big. The city that has, when they start having trouble maintaining the system working well, the city hurts with all kinds of consequences. People start using individual transportation too much. We don't have the structure for that. So it's kind of like if we say, let's cut the light in the power in the city. People won't just die, but the city won't work. It's the same with public transit. It is part of the infrastructure of the city. So we have to have a way to keep them running. And that's what we're debating right now. Fortaleza never had any kind of public subsidy before, but after the pandemics, we have from 10 to 15% of the supporting, the financial supporting of the system. It comes from public subsidy. That's good. So it's starting to happen, and what we're debating in Brazil is to make that higher, so we can make better bus systems with more quality, more offering, and lower prices. Very good.
Well, thank you, Dimas, for spending some time with me today talking about public transportation in Brazil. Is there anything else you want to share?
Well, there's always a lot to share, but what I think is the debate of the moment is how to make transportation cheaper, so people will use collective transportation. That's what's good for the city, makes the city work, and not only cheaper, but also much better. And also with that, when we talk about public emissions, I think it's another message that we always have to leave is that independent of if your bus is diesel or electric, it can always be better in these matters. But if you're riding collectively, you're helping with lowering carbon emissions.
Yes. Public transportation is always the cleaner option, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
That's what I was trying to say.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Mike Bismeyer, Transit and Kindness Advocate, and this is Mike's Minute, where we talk about leadership, mentorship, and kindness with the hopes it'll inspire you to pay it forward. Another amazing week in the world of transit and transit leadership. I had the honor, and I do mean honor, of attending 2 days of events in my local community where TransLink celebrated 75 years of trolley bus experience. When we talk about leadership, mentorship, and kindness, it's another example of all those traits being wrapped and represented in the local transits that many of us ride on daily. Great leadership from the TransLink media team just in organizing these events, including running 2 restored trolleys for service for 1 day. It was amazing to see the public's excitement and anticipation as they lined the streets to take pictures and catch a ride on a part of history and nostalgia. Even more impressive was the representation of mentorship and kindness as one of their retired operators with 41 years of service, which started on the trolleys in 1970, operated one of them for the event. Talk about an amazing representation for the agency, what customer service is all about, and the history of the city he served. We often talk about the image of transit and how many of us don't understand the passion and the many people behind the scenes that contribute to keeping people moving in our communities. We connect with our communities in very different ways, but transit is an integral piece of making that connection. I would challenge all of you to take in some local history of your system. You will be amazed at what's done daily and how it has supported and enriched so many lives for so long. Kindness is cool, but in my eyes, so is transit and the history behind it. Thanks for listening and have a great week.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Transit Unplugged with our guest, Dimas Barreira. Now, next week, we continue the series from Paul's visit to Brazil with Tula Vandaramatos, who is president of a number of transit associations in the south of Brazil. It's another fascinating interview into how public transit is done in Brazil, especially their innovative bus rapid transit system. If you'd like to reach us with a comment or a question or want to be a guest on the show, email us at info@transitunplugged.com. Please take a moment to rate and review Transit Unplugged. This helps other people find Transit Unplugged and become part of our greater transit community. Transit Unplugged is brought to you by Modaxo. At Modaxo, we're passionate about moving the world's people. And at Transit Unplugged, we're passionate about telling those stories. So until next week, ride safe and ride happy.